Is it time for your baby to start solid food, but you're not sure where to start? Hi, I'm Katie Ferraro, baby-led weaning dietitian, and in this video, I'm going to show you my behind-the-scenes setup for starting solid food safely with baby-led weaning. Here on YouTube, I put out new videos every week. About how to feed your baby real food, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the baby feeding info. So who's ready for solid foods? Your baby is ready if they're 6 months of age or 6 months adjusted age if born prematurely, and we got to make sure that your baby is sitting relatively on their own. Now, babies don't need anything except breast milk or formula until they're 6 months of age. Plus, they're not even safe to swallow anything prior to that. So don't feel pressured to start early. The safest place to feed your baby is in a high chair with their feet resting flat on a solid foot plate. I love high chairs that have an adjustable foot plate and seat rest, like this one called the Nomi high chair. I'm going to link some of my favorite high chair recommendations in the video description, but this one's awesome because it doesn't require tools to change the height. For safe high chair positioning, make sure your baby's waist is at a 90-degree angle, their knees are at 90 degrees, and their ankles are at a 90-degree angle. Now, for sure, baby-led weaning is messy. So putting a splash mat under the baby's high chair can really help minimize the mess. You recycle the dropped food back up onto the plate, and the splash mat that I like is from a company called Bapron Baby. They have this waterproof fabric, super durable, packs down really small, so it's great to take with you like in your diaper bag if you're feeding on the go. You also need a good bib for baby-led weaning, and I like these bibs called Baprons. So Bapron bibs are made out of the same waterproof fabric as the Bapron splash mat. They tie comfortably under your baby's shoulder blades, plus they're sleeveless, so your baby has that like full range of motion that they need when they're learning how to eat. I really don't like those new like huge long sleeve tent-like contraptions you see that totally restrict your baby's range of motion. These Bapron ones are awesome. Check out the video description to see where you can get them. Okay, so your early eater does not have their pincer grasp yet, so they can't pick up small pieces of food. I like to serve baby-led weaning foods out of a silicone suction mat or bowl because they suction to the table, and then they have this pliable rim that serves as a barrier against which your baby can rake and scoop the food up and out and feed themselves. The company that makes the original silicone mats and bowls for baby-led weaning that suction to the table, it's called Easy Peasy. If you check out the description of this video, I do have a discount code, plus links to my favorite Easy Peasy feeding gear recommendations if you do want to stock up. Now, you probably already picked it up in this video, but the safest size for baby-led weaning foods is food that is cut into soft strips or spears about the size of your adult pinky finger. I have tons of tips for you guys here on the channel about how to prep BLW food safely, but cutting up the food really small is not safe for early eaters. So I teach a 5-step feeding framework where we introduce 5 new foods per week. We do a new food of the day, and we always continue to introduce familiar foods from previous days. But what about purees? So you can honor the self-feeding principles of baby-led weaning and still offer pureed food like oatmeal or soups or unsweetened applesauce. You can do it out of a cup, or I like to use the pre-loaded spoon approach at first, and then as your baby gets older, they're going to start to dip and scoop with the baby spoon. But please do not put the spoon in your baby's mouth, right? Because putting anything in a baby's mouth, including a spoon, can be a choking hazard. Your baby can also start practicing with an open cup around 6 months of age. By about 12 months of age, we want to see baby drinking out of an open cup on their own, albeit with some spillage. The babies that you see here are drinking out of the tiny cup. That's the first, and in my opinion, the best baby-led weaning cup out there. It's also from that brand, Easy Peasy. So I know starting solid foods can feel overwhelming, but when your baby is 6 to 7 months of age, see if you can get them to sit in the high chair for meals about 1 to 2 times per day. I bump that up to 2 to 3 times per day when they turn 8 to 9 months, and then by 10 months of age, I love to see babies eating 3 meals a day. Most babies are going to have about 15 or 20 minutes in them to try new foods before they get tired. So you don't get tired. I'm definitely a big fan of making extra BLW plates, covering them, putting them in the fridge so they're ready for the next meal when you are. When it comes to cleanup, I know it's tempting, but try not to wipe your baby during mealtime. Even if it's messy, that can be a negative sensory experience. But as soon as that meal's over, I like to take the baby to the sink, do a quick rinse off of their mouth and hands, and then I get to cleaning up that baby-led weaning mess. The sticky foods, I definitely clean them when they're wet, but some of the grains and the proteins, they actually sweep up better when they're dry. So I hope you guys liked taking a little peek behind my baby-led weaning setup. Don't forget to subscribe for more baby feeding videos, and check out the description in case you want to create a similar feeding setup in your home.